What is going on, folks? Welcome back to your Lake Fork Guide. Tonight we're going to be unboxing some baits to catch giant bass right here around Lake Fork during the springtime. What y'all know about a little Whiskey Myers, man? Whiskey Myers, can't thank them enough for having us at the show. Last Thursday, me and the Princess Lady got a first-class experience at the Whiskey Myers concert. We can't thank them enough, man. Here's to y'all. Here's to you. Here's to me hanging out on your Lake Fork Guide, man. Cheers, y'all. Let's get it. Yeah, boy. Fade that on down. What are we going to do tonight? We got a big box of baits right here. We're going to unbox the Super 6 Sack from 6 Cents Fishing. I actually have no idea what's in this box, but we're going to find out together tonight. So, y'all bear with me. We'll get to it, man. Thank you guys so much for joining us. As you always do, as we always say, we don't have the biggest audience. We just have the best. And tonight we're going to unbox some baits to help us target giant bass around Lake Fork and our other area lakes in East Texas. Springtime bass fishing. Giving you all the tips and tricks we can. Showing you guys why this thing is so dang special. Let me tell you a little bit about the Super 6 Sack from 6 Cents Fishing. Basically, first of all, let me tell you about 6 Cents Fishing. It's a company, a local family-owned company in the state of Texas, down there in Willis, Texas, Conroe, Texas area, right around Lake Conroe, also close to Sam Rayburn. Everybody at that company bass fishes, loves to bass fish. These guys all know fishing. They're very intimate with the sport. They participated in a ton. Half the guys at the office are going out every weekend to fish tournaments. The other half are just recreational fishermen or whatever have you. Actually, I think most of the guys at the office are going to fish tournaments on the weekends, if I recall correctly. Just a pure Texas bass fishing company. And we all know Texas is the mecca of bass fishing these days. You don't believe me? Just hide and watch that next Elite Series event that comes up in Lake Fork. We'll show you what's up when that goes down. But one thing I love about the Super 6 Sack from 6 Cents Fishing, it's a company full of bass fishermen. And they are picking baits every month that are the best baits to use for that month. You get the baits at a discount already. You're getting, I can't remember what the retail is on this. Casey's going to kill me over this. It's like $35, $36, $37 that you pay for the Super 6 Sack, somewhere right in there. And you're getting like $45 worth of baits, $50 worth of baits, whatever it is. You're getting a $10 gift from 6 Cents Fishing by buying it in the bundle that is the Super 6 Sack. Then you punch in the code YL, because we're your Lake Fork Guide. So the code is YLFG Super 6. Use the YLFG Super 6 code on the Super 6 Sack. $10 off your first bag. Oh yeah, that's going to knock it down to $26. That is going to give you almost a 50% discount off of the best quality baits you'll ever find anywhere in the market, and also baits that are handpicked by these guys month to month to be effective. Right now, I have no clue what's in here. Let's open it up and see what we're catching big bass on. April's almost over, but you know, month of April. This is the April edition of the Super 6 Sack. Look, you don't think we're serious about fishing? Hey, even my pocket knife's got a bass on it. There you go. That's just how we do that. All right, open it up, you get a bag just like this. Now this is a nice little bag because you can carry this with you in your backpack. If you're a pond fisherman, you can throw this right into a compartment in your boat. You can throw it in your kayak. Nice little sack to carry your little monthly Super 6 Sack baits in, or reorganize and put whatever you would like in there. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's like they know that the lake's a little low at Lake Fork and we've had a little dirty water. They've got the Methylate Clout Stick Bait. Hey, that's been a straight up money maker for myself as well as many other guides that I know of on Lake Fork. That's in your Super 6 Sack. You get it right there. The first bait I pull out, you're throwing the same baits that the dadgum fishing guys are throwing. That's a pretty good start. Oh, here's another one. I gotta ask them about this color. This is the Flush. It's a fluke style type of soft plastic jerk bait. Really good bait to fish weightless. Really good bait to fish on a Carolina rig. All that good stuff. But look at that color. Guys, this is the best color I've ever seen on a fluke style bait right here. This is the one. And it says 6 cents exclusive color. I don't even know what that is or why we haven't had this color, but this better stay. Because I'm going to make a phone call tonight to try and make sure this color stays and that we get this color in some other baits throughout the 6 cents lineup. That's money, dude. What's next? Ooh, a little swank. A little swanky swank. Swank is a great grass crankbait. It's also a great timber crankbait. It actually deflects off hardwood as well. There's a Swank 77 in that black magic color. Hey, that's a bad looking little dude right there. If you want to go night fishing coming up or just throw something different on them that they're not seeing on the crankbaits, that's the one right there. I like it. I like it. A little different. Wasn't expecting that, if I'm being honest with you, but I like it. This I'm totally expecting. Not all of our lakes are shallow grass lakes. Right now, Lake Fork is a low water lake, and sometimes those fish aren't always on the bank in the staging points. Curve 55 is going to be a great bait to target them. That crawfish color is always going to be money in the springtime throughout the south. Another crawfish bait, but this one's a square bill. I promise you, I don't even know what color this is. This is a new color too. Mud Bug Red in the Crush 100. That's your typical like 2.5 size square bill. Mud Bug Red. I promise you, I guarantee you, you could go to Lake Fork and catch bass on that right now. Or any other lake where you can fish a square bill, you can catch a bass on that in the south right now anywhere you want to. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Oh boy. The bluegill spawn is coming, folks. The bluegill spawn is starting to happen in some lakes. I've actually seen bluegill beds in some lakes already. This is a speed glide. This is a bait. It's just a fast winding bait like that. It has a little S-curve action. You reel it real fast. Speed glide 100, and that is the best bluegill pattern for Texas, for East Texas, right there. Here's the deal, guys. If you get bluegill beds on a wind-blown bank, which you get a lot of at Lake Fork and all the lakes around here, get the wind, because we know we've had plenty of wind. Bluegill beds on a wind-blown bank, that bait right there will rack them and stack them, guaranteed. A lot of guarantees going out tonight. It's bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see how it works out. Then we got some terminal, a few pieces of terminal tackle here. That 5/0 EWG hook right there, that's going to be great for that clout stick bait. Also, you can throw it on the fluke on the Carolina rig if you need to, the Flush on the Carolina rig. Wacky Hooks, another one for the clout stick bait. There's Wacky Hooks and EWG hooks. So whether you want to rig that stick bait, that clout stick bait on weedless style, or whether you want to rig it wacky style, they got both the hooks included right there in the Super 6-Sack. And then something else, it's going to be a helpful tool just throughout the year, throwing Carolina rigs right now. If you want to throw that weightless bait, this can help you with that as well. Swivels, gyro swivels, great swivels. Those are the best swivels you'll ever find right there. There you go. That's the Super 6-Sack. I'm putting all mine back in the bag. That way I can put it straight in the boat as soon as I'm done talking to all you knuckleheads tonight. Sorry, y'all got to wait till I get my stuff loaded back up for the boat. All that being said, get the brown in your cup, hold it up. Cheers, y'all. Thank you for joining us. Alrighty. Now let's answer some questions. What kind of questions you guys got tonight? What do y'all want to know? What's going on, how it's going? Hopefully you saw the Instagram story, TikTok, or Facebook story that I just posted, because we also talked about another bait company, Bait Smash Take Hollow Body. Talked about that last week on our Tackle Talk segment, both on YouTube as well as Facebook. We had a poor Smash Take Hollow Body today. It got beat to death, had some of the hide tore off it, had teeth marks and chew marks and tears all in it. She was beat all to get out and back. I don't know how many fish she caught today. It was all of them. But even though that being the case, that bait is so dynamic and so well made that it is still hanging on to that hook and still able to catch a fish. The Smash Take Hollow Body is another one. We actually kind of sold out of those everywhere after our talk last week. So I don't know if you can get your hands on them. If you can get your hands on some smash deck hollow bodies, you're going to want to do that right now. I happen to know the guy who makes them, and he's out of town for 2 weeks. So you're going to want to get those right now. Is this a giveaway? No, it's not a giveaway. Plan on using my stuff I got in the same sack here in Nebraska, since the weather is warm trending and wind is dying down. Yeah, if the weather is warm trending, a lot of those baits should play for you, brother. Tell Casey we got to keep that color. You got it. You got it. We'll do it. Got one of the frogs you think it will be good to fish with this time of year? Yes. Yes, frog bite is happening if you're on lakes that have flooded vegetation. Lake Fork does not have flooded vegetation because of the lake being low like it has been. But if you're on a lake at normal pool level that has flooded vegetation, it is time to throw the frog, and the Vega frog is second to absolute none. Yeah, that hollow belly got beat up. The hollow belly got beat up today. It sure did. Somebody said. Are jigs still a player this time of year? Certain kind of jigs are player year round. A swim jig. I have thrown a swim jig, especially a bluegill colored swim jig. I have thrown a swim jig around a little bit lately and gotten bit on it. As far as a flipping jig, if I'm going to pitch and flip a jig, it's going to be a 3/8 ounce and it's going to be trimmed down to a real small profile. I would have no issue pitching that around any shallow cover this time of year as well. So swimming a bluegill jig or pitching, and by the way, my flipping jig is, you probably could do black and blue. I would probably do green and brown. I would do bluegill colors on the flipping jig as well. What's the general rule for top waters when it comes to water temps? Around 60 degrees, you can get some to bite it. 65 and up, especially like 65 and up stabilized, where like the morning temps start above 65, you can get all of them to bite it. That's when it's go time for top waters. And right now is go time for top waters. One thing I'm kind of disappointed wasn't in there. I mean, they can't put everything in there, right? There's only so much they can put in there for $36. But the catwalk has been phenomenal lately, especially on the shad spawn deal, on the main lake points and main lake banks of Lake Fork. The catwalk has been an unbelievable tool. The axle jig was hot for me this past weekend. Yeah, the axle jig is basically, it's just a weedless swim jig. Swim jig has been a good tool here lately as well. We're about to be in May, guys. Once you get to May, we call May the month of a million because you're going to catch a million bass, and you could catch them a million different ways. Once we get to May, it will be really hard for me to narrow down baits and techniques and all that kind of stuff week to week for you guys, because there's going to be so many different ways to catch them once we get to May. And we're kind of already starting to get there. As you can tell, I'm telling you a bunch of different baits that are working. You can throw square bill, you can throw a jerk bait, you can throw a topwater, you can throw a Carolina rig, you can throw weightless plastic, you can throw a flipping bait. What did I miss? I know there's something missing. You can throw a swim jig, we just said. You can throw a chatterbait. Man, there's starting to be a lot of different ways to catch them. What else? Who's got questions? Bring them in. Well, I'm on like crack tonight, dude. I'm going fast. About a month behind in Nebraska. Yeah, y'all are about a month behind in Nebraska. I understand that, man. You guys should probably still be throwing chatterbaits and jerkbaits and lipless crankbaits and things like that, I would imagine. Colton Loach, what's going on, big dog? You guys asked me some questions. Pop some questions into the chat. Let's keep the live stream going. It is kind of a later one. I apologize for that. I do have to get up super early and go right back at guiding tomorrow. So I'm not going to stay on super long tonight, but ask the questions while we're here. I'll be happy to answer them. Coming down there tomorrow and want to look at a couple if possible. Would you go to Fork? Would I go to Fork or one of the smaller lakes around there? I mean, that's going to be a personal preference for you. The wind's not supposed to be too bad tomorrow. I haven't looked at the final forecast for tomorrow yet. I don't think the wind's going to be too bad tomorrow. I don't know what the water color's going to be with the water flowing in. We had so much rain overnight last night and into this morning, so there's got to be some flow coming into the lake. That's going to mess up some areas, but it's going to not mess up other areas, I would think. So I'd probably, if you're wanting to go to Fork, I'd go to Fork first. And if the watercolor is real churned up from the storm we had last night, this morning, then I would quickly bounce to another lake at that point if the watercolor was real bad. How are the elites going to catch them this year on fork? I'm going to say deep diving crankbait. I think a deep diving crankbait is going to be the number one thing you see the elites catch them on at fork this year, followed closely by a swim bait on a jig head offshore. Unless I reserve the right to change my mind on this, if we get flooding rains and the lake fills dang near all the way up right before the tournament, then it's going to be a totally different event then. Catwalk, aka the hot dog, they're chomping it on Athens too. There you go. Yeah, they're biting it everywhere, dude. It's just a good topwater bait. They bite it good. When you start dragging a shaky head around, in the right conditions now, the bigger oversized shaky head, that starts for me kind of mid-May. Probably this year mid to late May, because normally we start early to mid-May, but the water temps are still a little behind what they should be right now. We're still hovering around 70 degrees on water temps, just a little above it for the most part. So normally we would already be here in the next couple weeks for sure, be thinking about going out deep with that shaky head. We're going to be a little behind that this year, I believe. There's still some hollow bodies on Tackle Warehouse. Y'all better go buy them up. Smash Stack hollow bodies on Tackle Warehouse. Y'all better go get them. Get them while they hot. Have I tried the glitch? I have not tried the glitch yet. Colton Deloach says, I have hell with braid tangling on a walking bait. Really? I wonder what kind of knot you're tying. Try tying a knot that comes straight out from the bait. I tie a knot called the Homer Circle. You tie a fisherman's knot, something like that. A knot that comes straight out where this is the topwater bait. The knot points straight away from it. That may help you stop tangling as much. I don't really have an issue on mine tangling. Billy, don't throw those drop shots now. Is the glitch a drop shot bait? Because I don't throw a drop shot bait. Has my signature series rod come out yet? No, it has not. I apologize to you guys for that. I was a little misleading. I was told we were going to have samples a long time ago. I still don't even have the samples on them yet. I honestly do not know what the estimated time of arrival is on our Your Lake Fork guideline of rods. I do not know. Glitch is a drop shot bait. Yeah, I probably won't be trying that out. Maybe ever, unless I start tournament fishing again a lot. Heading to Lake Fork in June, what should I bring? Deep diving crankbaits, 6-7 inch swim baits put on jig heads, Carolina rig baits, which would be the hog waller from 6 cents, 3/4 ounce hybrid jigs with stroker crawls, flutter spoon, there you go. That should get it done for you. That should get you some baits that'll get you bit on Lake Fork in June. Fish offshore structure. Find them with your graph. Concentrate anywhere from 15 down to about 25 feet. You should be able to find some on structure in those depths. I wish I could give you a more precise depth than that, but it's going to depend on the weather and the wind and all that good stuff. What else y'all got? Man, we are knocking out some info tonight, boys and girls. Favorite lake to fish topwater this time of year other than Fork in Texas. Favorite topwater lake. Ooh, topwater lake. Clear lakes tend to do better on topwaters. Probably Athens. The guy that somebody said they're killing the catwalk. I've had some really good topwater bait days on Athens. Probably at Lake Athens. What kind of baits will be good midday in dirty water? That clout, that fucking, I almost said a bad word. That neon orange, a really bad word. That neon orange methylate clout stick bait. Boat Lanes chip is out now. Yes, the Boat Lanes chip is out now for Lawrence only. The next comment was about Humminbird. I'm sorry we don't have it for Humminbird yet. We're working on that. But right now for Lawrence, we have our Your Lake Fork Guide. Pro Lanes is what we're calling those. the Your Lake Fork Guide Pro lanes. Because, hey, you want to navigate Lake Fork like a pro, get the Your Lake Fork Guide Pro lanes. Just came up with that just now. Hope you guys all appreciate that. That was like, you know, like back in the day when Eminem was still in Detroit and he would like do all them freestyle flows. That was like my sales pitch version of a freestyle flow right there. Let me know what you thought. Boat lanes are available at yourlakeforkguide.com. You can also buy them in person at Lake Fork Marina. Are you throwing Holly with a jig head or just a hook? I know I've covered this already. I'm throwing it with a weedless hook right now because I'm fishing it shallow. But soon we will be moving off the bank with it out offshore, and we will be throwing it on a jig head at that point. And I'll use the Divine jig head from 6 cents. Gary Payne says he's got the pro lanes and he loves it. Thank you, Gary Payne. Appreciate the feedback on that, brother. Why the bright clout this time of year versus natural color? Dirty water. Dirty water. Dirty water, and show them something different in the spring when they're getting a lot of pressure. Have I used the 6 cent sweep swim bait yet? Yeah, dude, I've had the 6 cents sweep swim bait since, like, I don't know, like almost a year before it was released. Here's fact, the original prototypes that I got happen to be sitting right here. There's one of them right there. I've got 2 of them sitting right here. I've been throwing that bait right there for a long, long time. Those were 2 that I pulled out of the package the first time I got them to look at them, and never made it back to my boat because I used the other ones. And they're really durable. They hold up really well, so I never had to get those. But the sweep swim bait is good. Good bait. You have to use a keel weighted hook. You can't go weightless on it. Do you like the lake 6 foot low compared to, I'm assuming you're going to say normal pool? Yeah, you know, it's just different. It's just different, man. It's, do I like it? Yes. Do I like it full pool? I probably overall like it better full pool. Really, if it's full of vegetation, I really like it full pool. But I also like it low. It changes the fishery. It condenses fish. It somewhat simplifies the fishery. It takes some things away from you, so it makes decision making easier. This time of year when it's crowded and everybody's trying to do the same thing, it's not quite as much fun. In the wintertime when it was low, I loved it because there wasn't anybody on the lake, and it was really simple to figure out what the fish were doing because there's only a few things they could do. And I think as we get further into the year, it'll be more like that again. And it's easy to figure, like, it's really easy to figure out what the fish are doing right now. It's just hard to get on the right spot at the right time that hadn't been fished by a bunch of guys and has active fish that are feeding on it. Like, all that's kind of hard to put together right now. But knowing what the fish are doing is a lot simpler. So I like it both ways. And the reality is I got to go fish every day. So I got to fish the lake conditions that I'm presented with and make the best out of it. How come the lake isn't rising very fast? Fork got 1.5 inches of rain. I would think the lake would be higher than that with runoff, but it's actually much less. So, okay, Lake Fork does not fill as fast as most lakes do. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that right now. It just does not fill as fast as other lakes. It does not have the watershed. It does not have a river. Lake Fork is the biggest lake without a river that you'll find around here in the whole state of Texas. So it doesn't fill as fast ever. Number 2 is we've been in a drought in East Texas, guys. A pretty good one. A lot of the ponds are low water conditions. A lot of the other lakes have a little bit of low water conditions. The ground is not saturated. When you have a drought condition, the first thing that's got to happen is the ground has to get saturated. The ponds have to fill up. The smaller lakes have to fill up so that creates that immense amount of overflow when you get that 1.5 inches of rain. That's what creates the immense amount of runoff. Even when that happens, in those situations, Lake Fork does not catch near the flow, near the runoff that other lakes do with rivers running through them and things like that. Other lakes are just on a bigger watershed. So Lake Fork always fills up the slowest. So it's just part of what we deal with at Lake Fork. It's very stable and doesn't fluctuate very much unless we do it like we did this time, or there's an extreme circumstance like there was in 2011. Other than that, it really doesn't fluctuate more than 1 foot or 2 a year. In this situation, it may take some time, like a long time for it to fill back up. And I'll say that since the beginning. A lot of guys say, well, it'll fill up this spring. And you know, it might. We might get enough rain to fill up this spring. There's a really good chance, in my opinion, that we won't fill up this spring. What is the cost of the chip? I have a buddy that has Lowrance. We charge $100 for your Lake Fork Guy Pro lanes, but let me tell you, you will get more lanes than you will on any other chip. You'll get hazard waypoints you don't get on any other chip, and you get multiple running levels that you don't get on any other boat lanes chip for Lake Fork. We put a lot more work, a lot more time into this. We put a crazy amount of time into this. I put a crazy amount of time into this. So yes, it does cost more than other boat lane ships, but we feel like we give you more information. Do I think fishing will be good in June on Fork? Hell yeah, it's always good on June and Fork, man, always. Can you use the swank like a standard square bill when it comes to location when vegetation is present? Yes, you actually can. It works on hard cover as well. So timber, rock, things like that, it does deflect off those as well. Going to be some good dove hunting to go with the fishing this fall? I hope so. I hope so for all my dove hunting buddies, because I sure do like eating them little suckers after somebody else kills them. Listen, I'd rather be fishing, so I'm going fishing. But when y'all kill them, I like to eat them. I'm just telling you. All my buddies that kill doves, I'll eat you doves for you. Charlie's in the house, folks. Big Charlie. Vic Pearsall's here. How are you planning on doing the waypoints on Hummingbird since we just have the blue dots? Yeah, some of the older models just have blue dots. I don't know how we're going to do on the older models. I think on the newer models, Hummingbirds, you have different style waypoints. And we labeled all of our waypoints HZRD. So it says that's our abbreviation for hazard. That notification comes in the instructions for uploading the lanes as well. You'll see that in those instructions. But our waypoints are all labeled HZRD. Now, will that translate to some of the older model Hummingbirds? I don't know. You may just get blue dots that are right along your boat lanes that are marked. I mean, it's going to be pretty obvious when you got a boat lane and you got waypoint, waypoint, waypoint. Those are going to be your hazards. Charlie's in here having side conversation with everybody. Oh, Charlie. Charlie. Charlie over here talking to Mike Bray and Gary Payne. What else y'all got? Any more questions tonight? Get the brown in your cup. Hold it up, folks. Cheers, y'all. It's just a Monday night. Talking about tackle. It's all good. We'll have Tackle Talk Tuesday tomorrow over on the Facebook page. Who wants Turn Back Tuesday to come back on YouTube? Anybody? Let me know. We quit doing that for a while now. Maybe y'all want to see that again. What's my go-to brown water? Crown Black. But one of my customers got me a bottle of Crown Reserve. I'm going to tell you, that stuff was real good. Real good. Would you throw the sweep in the spring? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would throw the sweep in the spring. Absolutely, I would. We got an absolutely for Turn Back Tuesday. We got one guy, at least one guy wants to see Turn Back Tuesday. There's two guys wants to see Turn Back Tuesday. Come on back. Hey, man, we've been doing it for a while now. It's over 5 years. We're going on 5.5 years. We've been making this week-to-week content, so there's definitely plenty to pull from. Would I fish a walking frog or a pooping frog this time of year, depending on the vegetation? You did write pooping, just so you know, James Nelson. I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty sure that a pooping frog is probably going to be considered live bait, and that's cheating, and cheating is wrong, folks. A popping frog or a walking frog? Well, I can solve that. Get the Vega frog from 6 Cents Fishing, okay? It is a popping frog that is also the best walking frog that I've ever thrown. It does both. Then I just got one frog I throw on. It's the 6 Cents Vega frog. Y'all want to see the Cody Mays net job on that 11-pounder from last year? Okay. Maybe we can wind that one up for you guys tomorrow. I may have to post it a little late after soccer practice and all that, but I will try my best to get the rewind on the Cody Mays net job on my 11-pounder, because Cody Mays He's one hell of a fishing guide. He's also a great net man when he goes fishing with you. That's my boy. The wind sucks. Yeah, dude, the wind just won't let up. It's crazy. It wasn't bad today, and I don't think it's going to be too bad tomorrow. How's the hookup ratio with a Smash Tech Poacher on an 8/0 beast hook? Yeah, I think that's the right hook. That's the hook I use on it, and I've never had a hookup ratio issue. So I think the hookup ratio is good on an 8/0 hook on the Smash Tech Poacher, the weedless poacher. Have I ever used 4 to 5 inch tubes? How would you suggest to rig it? We used to actually rig an old Lake Fork tackle crawl tube on a shaky head, like a 1/4 ounce or 3/8 ounce shaky head, and throw it like that, and it would stand that tube up and just do all that thing with all the tentacles. And that was about a 4-inch tube. So yeah, I liked rigging it on a shaky head back in the day. The old crawl tube. I heard there's a crawl tube coming. I don't know. Heard a little rumor there's a crawl tube coming. Y'all might want to stay tuned, folks. But wait, there's more. All that good stuff. Guys, I'm actually going to go ahead and wrap this up right now tonight. Man, this was really kind of an unplanned, unexpected live stream. But I got that box in the mail a couple days ago. And I've been forgetting to do the unboxing. So I wanted to unbox the Super 6 Sack. Y'all go buy those up. Use the code on the Super 6 Sack. YLFG Super 6. Use the code Your Lake Fork Guide on anything else you want to buy at 6centsfishing.com and save another 10% on all that. Thank you guys so much for everything you do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Man, I love y'all. I'm going to go live my dream tomorrow. Thanks to all of y'all, man. Cheers. Let's get it. We appreciate it. Y'all have a great night. Have a great week. We'll see you out there sometime. And we'll see you next time right here on Your Lake Fork Guide.